Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Bobby Warden and welcome to this product review video. We're going to be doing a product review of this beauty just here. It is Iwata's Highline HP BH airbrush. It's one of their top line airbrushes. It's one of their very sort of get in close, fine line kind of work airbrushes. Bit on the expensive side, but it does have all the bells and whistles. So let's open this up and let's sort of check out what you get. It comes in a nice box, hopefully, as you can see just there. Now inside you will find, first off, you do get, which is quite cool, just to showing you that at the factory they did test this to make sure it is all working rather nice. Bit of a piece of paper there. We do get some instructions with this. All right, first lot of instructions here, just kind of showing you how to begin, maintain, spray. Very quick sort of guidelines just there. We do get, which is rather cool, we do get a warranty. Right, basically it goes on about how you get a 5-year warranty with this, and it covers everything apart from things like needles and nozzles and O-rings and all that kind of stuff. So you do get that, and you get some more instructions just kind of showing you how to use this airbrush. Right, well, I'm going to kind of quickly sort of show you inside the box. Yes, we do have the star of the show, but you do get some oil. Right, this oil is rather cool because it keeps all your running parts running nicely, as well as you put a bit on your actual nozzle end. It just kind of keeps things sort of flowing nicely off the end of your needle. You do get a little wrench because you get a very tiny nozzle with this. And then obviously we have the star of the show, which is what we're going to look at, is the airbrush itself. Now with this airbrush, we do have inside here is a 0.2 millimeter needle. We have a 1.5 mil cup as well. We do have a little MAC valve just here, so which is a really cool feature, I must say. You know, kind of constantly changing on your regulator what air pressure you have, but you can do this on the airbrush itself. It's a really cool feature. It is nicely coated as well, so you don't have to worry about things like you know, using lacquer-based paints. You know, it's all well protected. So let's take this apart and see what's inside. So just taking off our little nozzle cap just here, nice little guard. What I have found quite interesting with these Iwatas, if I just take this piece off just here, we don't have things like O-rings or Teflons around here. Maybe bring you in a bit closer. You can hopefully see there's nothing actually there, but you can feel like a little bit of a sticky sort of substance on there. So let's just get the wrench out as well, because you'll also notice that we have the same thing going on with the actual nozzle, which, as you can see, this is a really itty bitty nozzle. Right, it is, as I say, a 0.2 mil, but again, we don't have this whole sort of nozzle business going on. It's like a tacky substance on there. Right, so I'll just quickly get out. We have this the Iwata cleaning kit, and within this kit, right, which is, I do recommend, because you do get a lot of funky stuff like the Iwata sort of upgraded sort of spanner thing for getting off that little nozzle, but you do have this Portland bee balm. Right, this stuff is what they're basically using, right? So to seal up these areas, right, we're just literally going to roll this on these, you know, threads like so, and that's how they're sealing it, rather than using O-rings or anything like that. So rather sort of cool feature. So let's continue stripping this down. Right, if I just take the back off just here, very nicely comes off. We undo this so as we can now, making sure the nozzle is off. Right, push our needle through, which, as you can see, I have been using it a bit with our new model we've been messing about with. So that comes out really nice, and you can feel how really nice and pointy that is. So with the needle out, right, we have all our trigger mechanism at the back just here. So we just simply screw this off. It is quite an easy process. There is a spring in the back of here. You can, if you like oil these kind of things. I mean, I do tend to put a little bit of oil in the spring, or maybe even a bit of grease, whatever you kind of prefer, just to make things a little bit more smoother, but it is pretty damn smooth anyway. And then to get the trigger out, it is a bit of a if we sort of get you to focus, right, it's kind of like you've got to turn the trigger like so, and then you can pull it out, as you can see. And then if we can see this on camera, yeah, you can. Just inside there is like a little screw, and you should have some little O-rings or Teflons in there. You screw them out, and from time to time you'll have to sort of replace them, but they are rated for lacquer based paint, so you should be all right for a very long time. So that is basically kind of taking this apart. I'll just put this back together, just show you how it goes together. Again, we've got to come in with the trigger, right, which we need to put in this way, and then we need to turn it inside, and then it just sits on and kind of makes a bit of a bridge, right? And what you want to feel is it's pushing down. You've got some resistance, right? And then we can basically put this back in, and which butts up, that little bit of metal there butts up against our trigger, and we simply can just screw this in. Right, now when it comes to screwing, if it's feeling like it's a bit of resistance, then that probably means you are cross-threading. So, you know, don't be going off and forcing things in, and you want to just keep screwing that until, you know what, it basically stops. There's no need to tighten anything up. Right, put on this sort of locking nut here for the actual needle. Then we're going to put this front on, and again using that balm as you go along, right, just so it seals everything up, because if you get any kind of gurgling, it means you're not quite sealed up. Then taking the very tiny little nozzle we have here, right, this is where you need to be careful. You can very easily, oh, I've gone the wrong way around. You've got to be careful with the little nozzle. It's very easily going to cross thread if you're not careful, right? So you do want to just sort of screw this on by hand, right? And you shouldn't really feel hardly any resistance at all. I'm screwing that on, there's no resistance until I've got to the end. If you're feeling resistance, you're cross threading. So I'm just going to come in with our little tool here, right, and what should happen is just a little pinch, right? We don't want to be applying too much pressure, too much torque on this to, like, again, cross thread it. It just needs a bit, right? I mean, you know, better to be loose than break it. You know, the only thing you're going to notice is you get some sort of like back bubbling if everything isn't tightened up sort of right. So don't worry about under tightening, worry about over tightening. Right, so with that all on there, we can thread through our needle. Now with the needle, right, we should not feel any resistance, right? No resistance as we put in this through, right? You'll start to feel something, right? And when you feel something, stop. And what you should see is inside there, you'll see the needle. Now the reason why you're feeling resistance is because somewhere here we have started to touch those little Teflons inside there, which kind of seals the back area from, like, basically all your paint kind of coming down through the back, right? So you're feeling that bit of resistance because of that, right? So I'm just kind of pointing out you're feeling resistance because of a reason, and that's fine. And then we can push it through. You're feeling that bit of a resistance because of the Teflons, and what you want to do is just see that needle just come out the other end, and then it just stops. You really don't want to force that forward because you don't want to be splitting your nozzle or anything like that. And then we can just tighten this on, right, which should lock that needle into place. So when you press down the trigger, you'll feel a bit of a bounciness to it, where it's basically giving you air, and then you should be able to pull back and it's all nice and smooth. Pull back and press down all at the same time. Right, so we're now going to apply this, right, and we could put our little nozzle on the end just here, and we are all good and back to normal. Did forget to point out, you do have what is kind of a cool feature, which it's like a little bit of a memory thing. If you've ever seen any of my videos, I always teach that we try and get your biting point where the paint just gets out, things like pre-shading, post-shading, all that kind of thing. This feature basically allows you to kind of go, oh, my biting point's maybe about there, and then you turn this, right, and what it does is it locks that position, so when you pull back the trigger, you're always gonna come back to that point. Right, so as you can see, I'm pulling back just a little bit. If I loosen this totally off, I'll be able to go all the way back. Right, so it's a nice little feature if you like that sort of thing. So apart from all those features, looking rather good. I will say you don't get the quick release valve. I've had to sort of use one of my old ones on here, right, but once you've got that on there, we can basically clip a hose on here, quick release, but you can just screw it on. It's totally up to you, but I do recommend these things. It's just so cool to have that quick release valve accessory on there. So that is how to take it apart and put it all back together. So there is the Iwata, what was it again, the HPBH. Right, now they do this in the HPCH, I think that is, where basically you end up getting a 0.3mm needle in here with a 7mm cup, right? So that's kind of, you're sort of going a bit more sort of, maybe not quite as fine line, but a bit more sort of general kind of work. The rest of the stuff in the range in the HB line is like probably more working on cars. I haven't got to worry about it for scale modeling. But yes, this is going to set you back around about £315 from airbrushes.com. Bit expensive, but it is, you know, one of their top of the range. It's got all the bells and whistles. You know, it's good for acrylics and lacquer based paints, right? It's really good. It is a lifetime investment. These kind of things don't break. You know, once you've bought them, you've got them for the rest of your life. You can even pass them down to the kids as well. That is the cool thing about these kind of airbrushes. So with that said, I'd normally kind of go off and maybe sort of show you it being sprayed and whatnot, but in all honesty, I mean, just a little bit of a spray here and there is not a big deal. I do recommend, actually, I am going to be having this airbrush featuring with our Hornet just here. This is the 1/48 scale Hornet by Ming Models, one of their sort of new tools. I'm going to be using this airbrush throughout that rapid video build video, so do, you know, when it comes out, check it out, because we're really going to be taking this airbrush and airbrushing an entire model, going through all the pre-shading, post-shading, really getting in with some sort of fine spray work as well, so you're really going to get to see this in action. So other than that, my name's Bob Waldron, Genesis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed.